is up, Ramley? Wow, trade mania. Les Snead is a complete madman. Trading for Jalen Ramsey, something we all kind of hinted, like, let's say ever since the Jalen Ramsey debacle with the Jaguars and them losing games. I mean, you're tired of being a losing franchise, and if you're like the best player there and you're not getting paid big money to play there, and like the organization doesn't really see you maybe in their long-term plans, then there's probably a problem, and it's probably better you get out of there. So that's probably why I think it's a good trade for both franchises. The Rams got a number one elite shutdown corner, better than Marcus Peters. I would say that Jalen is basically Aqib Talib, but when Aqib Talib was a lot younger and in his prime, back in the New England Patriot days, the days when he was with the Buccaneers and the Broncos when they won the Super Bowl. That's Jalen Ramsey, and possibly could be better. We'll see what happens with him being with Wade Phillips. And rumor has it that, since Aqib Talib has been injured this year and he's in IR already, and then Marcus Peters just got traded to the Ravens, there's a hint that we might actually bring in Chris Harris from the Broncos starting next season. They were hinting that the Rams might want to trade for him this year, but since we'd have to pay all that money that he's owed by the Broncos, they're probably going to wait for him to hit free agency, and then he can come and reunite with Wade Phillips the same way that Aqib Talib did. But we're going to have to wait and see how that plans out. But man, Jalen Ramsey for 2 first-round picks and a 4th is actually a pretty good deal. If you look at what the Rams have done and how good they could be, you're basically giving up 2 mid-20s, early 20s first-round picks. So what's the likelihood of you getting a number one corner with those 2 first-round picks? Being that the Rams, even though they might not be as elite as we thought they would be, they're at least in the 20s. Like they're a top 12 team in the NFL, and I do see them finishing with like a 9-7 and 10-6 record if all goes well. I don't think they're going to be the winning team in the division this year. I think we have a little bit too many issues on the offensive line, but we'll see what happens. It could all change. No one ever knows. We're 3-3. There's still a lot of season left, but the Rams are a really good team, so they will probably end up giving 2 late first-round picks and a late 4th if all goes well for the Rams. You're really not going to get a Jalen Ramsey type of player like that in those rounds. You have to get like early first round. So why not? Because look at the way that the Rams in the past have used their first round picks. They drafted Sam Bradford. They drafted Greg Robinson. They drafted a lot of bad players. I mean, Tavon Austin was, I don't know even how to describe the guy. He wasn't really much of a wide receiver. He was more of a distraction player / gadget player / he wasn't really much of a number one wide receiver like you would put like Robert Woods or Cooper Kupp or Brandon Cook. So we've wasted first round picks. So why not, with those 2 first round late picks, get a really, really good, if not elite, cornerback in the NFL? And if you were going to pay up to keep Marcus Peters or keep Talib for longer, why not pay up one of the best corners and rid yourself of any of that situation? Plus, Aqib Talib is already starting to get old. He's starting to get hurt. Injuries are starting to become an issue. So why not just go and get an elite corner? That's just how I feel. Tell me how you feel in the comment section. Now I'm going to move on to the next trade the Rams did. The first one actually was trading Marcus Peters to the Ravens. And the Ravens have secondary issues, and he actually will be in a winning team. I mean, the Ravens are 4-2. They're scoring points. They need a corner to come in. I think he fits the scheme a little bit better because I think they're like a hybrid 3-4 where they can go into like 4-3 zone or 3-4 man-to-man. So that would actually work out great for Marcus Peters. Hopefully, I hope the best for him. He's actually giving us some great moments when he's giving attitude to reporters and press conferences, and the whole him versus the New Orleans Saints, and just basically being pretty good overall his time with the Rams. I know there was issues where he was left one-on-one with certain wide receivers and he got beat deep, but that also was part of the safeties probably not giving him any help in the back. But I mean, he's giving us an opportunity to get a young, pretty decent inside linebacker and a draft pick. And knowing the Rams, they're going to make those draft picks work, man. They're going to trade those picks for picks and picks and picks. So don't be, surprised when the Rams start drafting in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th round and draft like 30 players. Because that's what the Rams do. And they find pretty quality players, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But one thing they're doing is those first-round picks, man, they're trading them for elite players. I mean, Brandon Cooks is a 1,000-yard receiver. Robert Woods is a 1,000-yard receiver. Cooper Kupp is a 1,000-yard receiver. And, well, look at where they were drafted. And we gave up a first. We got Robert Woods in free agency, and now his wide receiver contract is actually pretty decent compared to the rest of the league. And then Cooper Kupp, I think we spent a 3rd-round pick on Cooper, and that was like a mid or late 3rd-round pick. So we found ways to get decent players. We just have to draft well, but I guess we have to get really, really good players in key positions. So if we can get a left tackle, a really good left tackle, mess around with the offensive line, it's going to work out great. So the Rams ended up getting Kevin Young. I think that's his name, Kevin Young, from the Baltimore Ravens. And, the guy looks good on tape. 2019 wasn't his best year so far. I heard that he got benched for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it's because he's bad or because he is, let's say, underperforming, or maybe he's just not playing well this year. Who knows what their deal is. But, I'm pretty sure he has the potential to be a really decent player. And that's all the Rams really need in the inside linebacker position, which would really help Corey Littleton. And I think will end up working for Marcus Peters too. So hope the best for Marcus Peters. He's in a great situation. He'll probably end up getting paid either in Baltimore or elsewhere. But I'm just hoping the best for the guy. He's actually a pretty cool dude. Does a lot of charity work on the side when he was with LA. And, you can't ask for anything other than a thank you for him and his time spent in Los Angeles. And last but not least, Austin Corbett, I think that's his name, Austin Corbett from the Browns. And he's actually a pretty good and strong, powerful center who's really good in creating gaps for running backs to run through. We'll have to wait and see, but hopefully he does actually do well with the Rams. I think we ended up trading a late pick for him, but it's good help in the interior. And knowing the Rams, they probably done their homework. I forgot where the Browns drafted this guy, but I think it was like a second. I think it was like an early second or early 3rd-round pick. So he's got the potential, but he just didn't work out great for the Browns. And the Browns are kind of dysfunctional, so maybe we could, use him to the best of our ability. Kind of like Chris Long. He was an early 1st-round pick for the Rams. I think he was drafted 7th in the 1st round. With the Rams, he kind of, he was decent, but when he ended up going to the Eagles and when he ended up going to the Patriots, he did a really good job there. So maybe that's something that the Rams can do, is just, get a guy with potential, put him into the offensive line, and it won't hurt. He's probably way better than Brian Allen. So we just have to wait and see how that works out. And hopefully they do try them in the Atlanta game, or at least try their best to get them involved, especially if we're having issues. But this is Tuesday, so we play Sunday, so that gives them some time to probably practice and get in tune with the team. Hoping they actually play, because Atlanta puts up a lot of points, you guys, and that's our next opponent. Their defense sucks, but that team puts up a lot of points. They're going to be playing against a 3-headed monster when it comes to Julio Jones and Ridley and I think Sanu. So the Rams have a 3-headed monster as well, but our offensive line is kind of banged up. So we'll see what happens, man. But these 3 trades really, I think they did a good job, man. We had a need. we had picks, we traded them. We had a player, we traded him. Marcus Peters was not going to get paid by the Rams long term. I think he was probably a good corner, but he's more of a second. He's not a like the shutdown corner that we need. So I think they decided to cut their losses with Marcus Peters, and it's a business, man. And they decided to let him go in a good situation to a good team. And we were able to get some capital and a young linebacker that we really need depth in the linebacker position. And hopefully we can come and do damage, man. The Rams defense is good. The Rams defense is what is keeping them in games. But it's the offensive line. But with, getting an offensive lineman through a trade, and then not only that, but also moving the offensive line a little bit. I heard that they're going to have David Edwards come in at left guard now. And hopefully that works out, man. I've been wanting them to try things out, but I wanted Bobby Evans to get the first nod to come in and just take over for Joseph Noboom. Because to me, Bobby Evans is more of a Roger Saffold type of player. Because when Roger Saffold was drafted, he was actually drafted as a left tackle for the Rams, and then later on was turned into a left guard. So that's kind of what I see Bobby Evans as being, like a big, bulky, maybe not the most athletic, but he was strong enough to hold his block, and he was really good at getting in the second part of the field when he's out there blocking and screen passes, blocking those linebackers and secondary for Todd Gurley to run through them. So that's what I'm hoping for the Rams now, is just get better, man. Just improvement. Day by day, get better. Don't get worse like the last 3 weeks where the Rams just played completely like ass. But other than that, you guys, really love the trades. Love where the Rams are kind of moving. They're getting aggressive. They're playing Madden yet again. Wade Phillips does not care about your draft picks, man. He does not care. And you know what? We should be happy that at least the Rams are exciting, man. I remember when they were so boring to watch, predictable, nothing new, no trades. We're 3-3, man, but we're 3-3 in style. If we lose, we're losing with style. Except the San Francisco game, that was kind of a beatdown. But with style, though, we're playing and we're competing. Not like Jeff Fisher's football, where we're just taking our L, we have no hope kind of thing. But now we got hope, man. We got a stud corner. We got a good interior lineman, and we got a young linebacker that will most likely be a key player for the next 3 years, because I think he's only 24. So I think he still has 2 years in his rookie deal, and then he can get signed for a lot more. But we're trying to save money, and not only that, but we're trying to keep the team together and paying guys in key vital positions. So hopefully this works out for the best for the Rams. Let me know what you guys think. Until next time, you guys, go Rams.